Hi, welcome to my video on two similar products, which is for the DJI Pocket 3 from Sunnylife. Now these are frames that fit over the DJI Pocket 3. These frames, including the magnetic frame, can be bought off AliExpress anywhere between as little as £6 all the way up to £10. It depends on taxes within your country when it's shipped to your country, and also shipping costs. The two frames of which I'm going to review today are, one is the frame which has GoPro fingers, which is this one here, and the other is the frame which I personally like, is the one which doesn't have GoPro fingers on, but it has a handle on the back. Sunnylife does also two other frames. One is a magnetic frame where you can stick this on anything that's metal, and the other frame is a frame which has two GoPro style fingers on there, one at the back and one on the bottom, and also a 1/4" screw thread. Now I did order the other two, but they seem to be lost in the post. I have not received them because I was going to review all four of them frames all at once. So I'm just going to review these two. Now the first frame which I got here, is the extension handle frame, and this only has one GoPro mount on it, but I'll come to that later on. And then the other one is the same kind of frame, but this has an actual handle, and this is the one that I prefer myself. Now all of these frames are made by Sunnylife, and I have to say Sunnylife was the first to come out with an actual frame for the Pocket 3. Start off with the Sunnylife extension handle frame, and this is the one which I said has the GoPro 1/4" screw thread on the back, and this is how the frame looks. Now with this frame, it doesn't have a bottom to it, obviously, so it's made that you can put the extension handle on there or the battery handle. And I'll go around the frame. Obviously this is the front, and here is where you would have the joystick, the hole for the joystick, and the hole for the on and off button stroke record button. And as I go to the side here, we got one standard cold shoe mount, which is non-removable. It's built into the actual frame itself. On the back here we have the actual opening lever here, so you can open this up to put the Osmo Pocket 3 in there. We have some vents at the back here. The folded GoPro fingers, which are stated. The whole of this case is made out of TPU. At the bottom here we have an opening for the port, the charging port. And we have an opening here for your lanyard. And on the bottom here we have the words Sunnylife to open up the frame. And this goes for all the other frames as well. It's a simple lever, so you pull upon the catch here, it flicks open, and then you open it up, and it has a kind of clamshell design in there. Now on the inside we have a bit of foam here, foam rubber here, and a bit of foam rubber there. Now, as I stated before, even with the other frame, which I'll come to in a minute after reviewing this, you can place any of these handles with the Osmo Pocket into this frame because it doesn't have a sealed bottom. To place your Osmo Pocket into the frame, it's simple. You open up the frame, you're going to place the Osmo Pocket face down, try and line up the actual joystick and the record button to the holes, like so. Bring the frame round, the back round, get your lever, and then snap it shut. And then that's how it looks. Now I have not put the extension handle on there. I'm going to show it you with the extension handles on there. Now this is how it looks when you've got the extended handle in there. It just about comes to the bottom, and you do have the 1/4" screw thread revealed at the bottom here. Now one thing I did miss when I was going around this, which I forgot to mention, is yes, you do have an opening here for your memory card to get your memory card. Now it's not a very big opening, it's just about big enough than the card opening itself. So that's one negative thing with this. It is a bit fiddly to get the memory card out of this while it's in the frame. As I stated before, there's the holes for the joystick and the record stroke power button. You have clear room to rotate the screen on either side because it doesn't disrupt the rotation of the screen on either side. And this frame does give it more of a grip when you're holding the Osmo Pocket. Now this is how it looks when you've got the battery extension handle on there. Now, as you can see, there's about at least 1.25 inches of the battery extension handle showing at the bottom, so it doesn't fully cover that. Obviously you can easily get to the 1/4 inch screw thread on there, and everything is just in the same place. Nothing hasn't really changed. As I said, we got the vents on the back here to give this more ventilation for the Osmo Pocket. Obviously you miss the part here, and I forgot to show you, but I'll re-put the handle back on, that you can get to the charging port here. So obviously you can't get to it on the extension handle here because it sits further up. As I stated, we've got on this particular model of frame, we've got the GoPro fingers here. Now I re-put back on the extension handle, and yes, you can see that there is, the opening does coincide with the actual port of the extension handle. There is one big negative with this frame, and it's to do with the lanyard hole here. If you've got your lanyard that comes with the Osmo Pocket 3, if you have it already attached prior to going into this frame, obviously this part of the lanyard would go through, but this part here, the adjustment part of the lanyard and the end of the lanyard here, will not pass through this hole. Now I did buy this frame when it first came out at the beginning of January, in the first quarter of 2024. Hopefully they've redesigned this and found that this was a mistake, because the next frame I'm going to review for you, the one with the handle on the back, they recorrected this hole so this can able to pass through. Next up, we've got another frame for the Osmo Pocket 3 from Sunnylife, and this is the portable handband for the Osmo Pocket 3 from Sunnylife. Now this is the one that I prefer. This is exactly like the previous one, but except it has a band on the back for your hand, and it doesn't have GoPro fingers on the back. Now this came somewhat about 1.5 months after the first one, which is this that actually came out, Sunnylife brought out. But with this one, as I'm going to show you, the lanyard, if your lanyard is attached to the Osmo Pocket 3, can pass through here. So that can pass through in here. It's a bit sticky, but it can pass through. The hole is a lot bigger than this one. Also, they addressed another problem with the first frame, is the hole for the memory card. As I showed you before, it's a bit tight for the hole for the memory card. On this one, they've addressed that problem by making the hole for the memory card more bigger, and also they've tapered the actual hole. It's a bit difficult to pick it up on camera, folks, but as you can see, this hole is more wider than the other one, and they've tapered it. But like the previous frame, everything is the same. You still have the holes here for your joystick and record and on and off button. We have the word Sunnylife written on the front. At the side here, we have the hole here, which is now up wider to accept your memory card in there, so you can put in and take out your memory card. We have a cold shoe mount. The same on the back here. If I unclip this and pull that out. On the back here, we have this levered opening and clamshell design to the frame, so you can place your Osmo Pocket 3 in. On the back here, we still have the vents. Now we have a detachable or hand strap here, which you can see is, I would not say it's made out of leather, I'd say it's made out of a kind of UPVC imitation leather with a kind of Velcro back to it, hand strap with some clasps at the bottom. So that simply goes around here and you simply fasten it in like so, like so. So that's your wrist strap, which is adjustable. And on the side here, we have the hole for your lanyard, which is now wider than the previous version. Now, same as the previous version that I showed you earlier on, you place the Osmo Pocket face down into the frame itself. So make sure that you line up the holes with the joystick and the record button. Same again with here, the frame does not obstruct the turning of the screen here whatsoever. Now when it comes to fastening and closing this frame, it's a bit different than the previous frame, due to that we got the hand strap on the back. So what you need to do with this is you release the hand strap, pull it through, then you can lift up the lever or closure for the enclosure. I hope I got that right. And then you previously, like the other frame, you previously snap it down and it snaps into place. And then you can make your adjustment for your hand, which I'll show you by placing your hand in there. Make your adjustment. As I say, it's all Velcro and there. And this to me is my favorite one. I truly like this one. It saves me bringing the lanyard. You can attach the lanyard in here. It's easier, much easier to attach the lanyard to this. As I said, the hole is a lot wider. So you can put the lanyard on there if you want to have extra protection that you don't drop your Pocket 3. So you can have that there. Same again with the bottom here. It just about the bottom with the normal extension handle, the smaller handle. It comes here to reveal the 1/4 inch screw thread, and it just about fits on the bottom. This is how it looks with the battery extension handle. Same with the previous one I showed you. You got about 1.25 inches at the bottom, so you can see the extension handle here. When it comes to charging or data transfer via cable, you're going to have to remove the handband at the bottom section here. And now this is why you've got clasps on the bottom part. Remove the band here by unloosening the clasps, and then you can charge it. Now, as you can see, it's a much bigger opening, obviously, than the previous frame I showed you. It's a lot bigger opening, and the reason being, obviously, it's to accommodate the band. And as you can see, with the smaller handle, you can get to the female charging port and data transfer. Now, just before I come to my overall view on both of these frames, I just want to say this. If you happen to have, which I've done a review on this, on the Sunnylife gimbal, well, head and screen, well, they call it the lens and screen protector. It does accommodate from Sunnylife. It does accommodate and does complement both of these frames and the other two frames as well. That's the magnetic frame and the one with the 2 GoPro fingers and the 1/4 inch screw thread on the bottom. It does go with that. It gives an overall all-round protection for the Pocket 3. So it does complement, as I stated, all those frames from Sunnylife. Now this is my overall view on these Sunnylife frames. And the same would go with the magnetic one, which is not here, and also the one with the double GoPro fingers and 1/4 inch screw thread. These are not bad frames whatsoever. Any one of them you pick ain't too bad. Hopefully the one with the single GoPro fingers on there, hopefully the newer versions have accommodated the hole for the wrist lanyard that you get with DJI Pocket 3. like this one, how they've redesigned the hole for that. Now there's not much negatives about these, so I'll stay about the negatives about them. First of all, they are made out of a TPU plastic and do feel kind of plasticky, if that's a word, in your hand on these frames. And that will go for the magnetic one as well, and also the one with the double GoPro fingers. It will go for that as well. A negative, I have to say, is I wish they coated the inside of these two frames similar to the actual DJI cover that you get, as that kind of nice kind of velvet inside. I wish they'd done it with these. These would have made these excellent. As I showed you with this one, it has with the one with the handband, it has a bigger hole for the charging port and data transfer port at the back, but that's obviously to accommodate the handle at the back of this frame, that's why. While this one seems to have a smaller one, it still can accept cords, but it's a much smaller hole at the back. Also, it only accommodates the charging port from the from the extension handle, not from the battery, because the battery handle, the extension port, is further up the handle itself. If it was further down, then it wouldn't need to do that, or in the middle. It'll probably most likely accommodate on both of these. Probably would be the same for the magnetic version and the one with the GoPro fingers version as well. The last negative is this will only give you a kind of drop protection from about wrist height. Anything higher than that, these will crack, and it may lead to some damage to your Osmo Pocket in the way of scratch and dents, because they're only just plastic and they're thin plastic frames. Now, a quick positive note on these frames. You give you a thumb screw here. With this frame, you get this kind of thumb screw, which I do like. I do like how both of these frames accommodate the extension handle that you get with the Pocket 3, and also the battery extension handle as well. Even though you see about a little bit of it showing at the bottom, but it seems to cover up the majority of the battery handle. Now, just before I go to the outro of this video, I'd just like to say one thing. I am sorry about my voice, how it doesn't sound how it usually sounds on my channel, is because I'm getting over COVID. I had COVID. I thought it was the flu, but it turns out to be COVID that I had, and it has literally decimated my voice. I'm only now starting to get my voice back, so sorry about that. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. I perfectly understand my videos can be long, but I like to go into detail to save you the trouble of when you buy the product, you know what to expect. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.